Hello, this is Anteup, and today I'm going to be showing you my Wind Druid for Project Diablo 2 for the end of Season 1. He was a lot of fun to play, but he struggled a little early on, but once he gets fully geared, he does really well for himself. So I'm just going to start off by showing you some of the gear here, which I acquired over 2 months because I started halfway through, so it's just about best in slot for everything except for this pelt here. It could have rolled a +1 skills for a 7 NATO, but as you can see, it's slammed for cold res, which is unfortunate, but it still works really well. Everything else should be just about best in slot after that. Um, I found that he does the LOD content very well. That is your primary MFing spots, but you are capable of mapping with this build. Um, Probably not nearly as fast as some of the other characters in the game, but he's a lot of fun and he still does pretty well for himself. So if you enjoy playing the Wind Druid, then I would recommend going with a very similar build to what I am displaying today. I did go with the max FCR on him as well, which you could probably change out, maybe like the lidless for a 10 FCR, Storm Shield for more survivability, but I just kind of wanted to hit the FCR breakpoint. I thought it was kind of cool, so didn't find I needed much more than 86 FHR on this character. You could aim higher if you want to, if you're having a hard time, but I doubt you will. Um, not running much MF right now, but for the other content in the game, there are a couple of items that I switch out for the easier stuff. But today I'm just going to be displaying, a more defensive build because I will be showing off a map as well. As far as mapping goes, you kind of want to stick with tier 1 or tier 3. You are capable of doing tier 2s. There's a lot of stuff that can one-shot you though, so you gotta kind of pay attention. Just kind of teleport around with Gust strategically so you don't get one-shot. Outside of that, it's just kind of what you're aiming for. You don't want to have too many negative modifiers because it does get a little hairy with this build. So let's go ahead and just kind of do some buffs really quick so I can show you what kind of damage he's doing. So Tornado's doing 9.6k, Twister's doing 7.79, your Hurricane damage is 3799, and Arctic Blast is 16k. It's a pretty standard setup. I ended up going with the Grizzly with a couple Dire Wolves and your Heart of the Wolverine. Having the meat shield seems to be pretty important with this build. I did try putting more points in the Cyclone armor. Didn't seem to be as good. So I do recommend running the pets with this build for survivability. So start off here and just kind of show you what a Chaos run looks like, and then end off with a tier 1 map. So it's you're gonna end up using your Twister for clearing out trash mobs, and then Tornado for the more difficult ones, and Arctic Blast for the physical immunes. When the amplified damage does not take away the immunity, and for dual immunities, when you're mapping, just keep going. Just leave them in the dust. So I do understand on Season 2 he's getting, the Wind Druid will be a little bit more powerful. They have the buff coming to Horizon's Tornado, where you will be able to roll a 5 Tornado and 5 Twister. And you definitely want to see if you can get that +1 skills on there. Easier said than done, right? Well, and also being able to roll pelts is going to be pretty cool, especially because you can get the FCR on it. It will be easier to hit your breakpoints. So anything you see here, if you do like this kind of gameplay, then it's only going to be better next season, so just keep that in mind. And your basic strategy here is you're just going to Teely Stomp just about everything while keeping your Cyclone out as much as you can. And always have a Juvie on hand. There are some enemies that when you go to Teely Stomp them, they will hurt you pretty bad, so having that having that at your disposal is going to be vital for this build. But he is a tad bit squishy, but he does pretty well, as you can see. As you can see, the pets do pretty well. They don't die too quickly, so... If you see me running around not picking stuff up, that's because we're at the end of the season. I plan on retiring this character probably after this video. Spend some time with the family before I jump into Season 2 here. And Diablo's down. Oh, look at that. Primeval Soul. Give that away to somebody before I quit. And let's go ahead and do a Tier 1 map and just give you an idea of what he's capable of doing with that. This one. Yeah, as you see, everything's just kind of melting with this. Wish the tornadoes had a little bit more range on them, was a little bit quicker, but it does pretty well. Oh, apparently we're not friends. I'll have to message him after. Do one more good deed before I retire. Yeah, even just Keely stomping these cows, it's pretty easy. It's also not a very high-end map, but gets the job done. Still find quite a bit of good loot here. I don't believe I'm going to finish this entire map. It was just kind of to display what he's capable of doing. As you see, he's not really having much of a hard time with anything here. So, even the fanaticized groups, just depending on what is being fanaticized, you can just go in and teely stomp it, and it's really not that big of a deal. Once again, just keeping an eye out for some of those really bad modifiers. Stygian Dolls, Crushing Blow you don't really like with this character, so let's go ahead and take out this boss since we're right here, right? Yeah, this guy can hurt sometimes, so be a little careful. As you see, he does die pretty quick though, so no big deal. Alright guys, that's all I really want to show you today. I hope you enjoyed the build. Look forward to seeing you guys in Season 2. Hey, have a good one.